think it was Mother Teresa that said that that loneliness is actually worse than being poor.
I believe it is an issue because we live in a fast-paced city where everyone's just on the go.
I think it's part of the human condition.
It's an urban condition, I think. People can get lost.
What's the matter, Annabelle? Don't you feel well? Aren't you happy? I know what's wrong with you. You're lonesome. I'll get you a new playmate.
Calgary is so large and so like diverse with people that live from like other places that I feel like there's a bridge.
Calgary is the melting pot of all cultures, of all people, from different walks of life.
And most of the time people don't bother to say, hey, how's it going? Everyone's too busy with themselves, with their jobs, with their kids, with whatever.
I honestly believe that not only in the city, but in Western North America, that the form of lifestyle we live drives people away from creating connections.
We have our jobs, but we do what we should in our jobs, and we don't become very personal with the people working with us.
I think that loneliness can be a huge issue for me, and so I can only assume that it's a huge issue for other people as well.
When you don't have that support from the community, you lose, I think you lose a lot of strength.
Maybe sometimes you put on a face or you pretend to be someone you're not, or you're still finding yourself, so you have friends but you don't think they really understand you.
Been walking such a long way. Those they said you'd be on time.
You've got to know your resources and at the same time have a willingness to be, I mean, they're already in a vulnerable state, but you have to be open to reaching out a little bit.
I think in a city of this size, there's a lot of onus on the individual to find community. I don't think you can survive without it, whether you find that in your family, in your group of friends, in a spiritual community, in a coffee house community.
All the technology and all the facilities are there, okay? But I mean, from personal experience, I believe that I managed to break the ice, or some of it anyway, simply because I was just being myself, okay? And if things don't work out, you just carry on, be frustrated about it, vent your frustration, then move on.
But at the end of the day, it's up to that person to take the initiative to do something about it instead of feeling sorry for yourself and then do something that you probably regret doing for the rest of your life.
I think a lot of outreach programs, I'm really in love with street church right now, which really helping with the homeless people that live in the downtown core and really bridging social classes and such.
Intentional gatherings, dance community gatherings, intentional healing gatherings, potlucks, simply coming together to create sacred space.
A lot of people think maybe clubs or finding groups that have the same ideas as you, or just helping the community and volunteering or sports or different things like that.
I used to do a walking club, and that was a fantastic outlet for a lot of women. We just go once a week with a group of seniors who wanted to get out of the house, and it was really good.
The internet is creating, it's one of these institutions that is filling the void.
We have to start looking not at agencies that can help people, but how can we help our neighbors? Can we shovel their walk? Can we invite them over for a cup of coffee or tea? Can we just talk over the fence? We've become such an isolated people in the city that we've lost that common sense of good neighbor and friendship.
Personally, I think loneliness is probably a large percentage of it is a spiritual condition.
Because of the secularism in our world, people aren't developing spiritually as well either.
If you are spiritually involved in the community, you have a greater support system. But I also think that if you're physically isolated, which we are becoming, it can contribute more to loneliness.
We kind of have to figure out what our passions are and what, I guess, the things in our life that are really worthy of our time and of us investing our whole life in.
I believe there's a spiritual connection to it. I mean, we are created as human beings to be seen, to be touched, to be recognized.
We're definitely not alone in the universe.